Oh, I've just found a house over 126 years. I'm still standing. Yeah, at Ebute Metta, historical Lagos is there to welcome you to Jaekel House. Why not explore with us?
You are welcome to the Railway Museum. Is this your first time of coming to the Railway?
First time of coming to the Railway.
Have you ever been to any museum in Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where and where?
I've been to the Museum, I've been to the Second Museum.
Okay.
Some other things.
Okay, good. You know, sometimes when I ask this, I want to know the level at which I will explain the role of railways. I mean, the role of the museum in the development of this nation. And of course, I always tell people that we have about 53 museums as at this moment that are being administered by the National Commission for Museums and Monuments. And we have so many museums too that are being created by the states, managed by the states. And of course, we have individual museums. You know that this museum, which is the Railway Museum, is so very distinct and different from the other museums. Because the other museums deals in our culture, in our artifacts, in the way of life of the people, and the historical perspective of movement of Nigerians from one place to the other. But this museum is so different because this museum talks about the railway. It was created for the railways, and of course it was not a creation of the railways, but a creation of people of like minds who actually came into the railway and saw things that are being disused, buildings like this that are being left abandoned, and they felt, no, we are missing our legacies, and they now came together to plead that the railway should give them buildings like this, and they were given. And when they were given, they have to rehabilitate it. The main objective is Legacy 1995, which is the people we work for. Their objective is to take care and preserve old significant buildings. Old significant buildings that has to do with the culture of the nation, that showcases the history of the nation, and of course to take care of the environment, a good environment. That's the essence of Legacy 1995, which we work for. And of course, this museum, like I always said, is one of the 11th we have in Africa. 11th in Africa. One of the 11th railway museums in Africa. And of course, I always tell people that we should thank the people that actually brought about this. If not, we wouldn't have been listed among nations in Africa that has museum. I mean, railway museum. And again, this building basically was built for the purpose of the first general manager of the railway.
First general manager of the railway.
This is where he resides, and this is where the responsibility lies. When he lives here, he goes to the office which is near, and this is where he lived until when he left service or retired or relocated, so to say. So basically, this building was actually erected in the year 1898.
1898.
That's 126 years ago. And in our parlance, they call it Brazilian design building.
Brazilian design building.
Yes. And of course, when people come around, I will always ask them, why do we have Brazil embedded in this? Why? What does it mean? And most people don't know. And I kept on telling them, there was a century that the issue of slavery started, where people were taken or constricted and taken out of the country for slavery. And basically, some of them went to Brazil, some of them went to Portugal, etc., etc. But basically, those people who left for Brazil are the ones who returned. You know, the aspect of return has to connotation. The ones that got their independence by paying their dues, and the one no escape. Okay. It's like you bought somebody, the person paid back indirectly, and they got their independence. And the second people that were in the majority were the people when the clamoring for stoppage of slavery came about, and everybody they were released. So some of them who came back to Lagos, this Ebute Metta is where most of them resides when they came back. And of course, like I always tell people, these people went when they were not educated. they weren't educated. And when they got there, they became educated outside the school because they were trained to do so many things. And some of them became builders, some of them became artisans. So when they came back, they became easy tools for people to use to build houses. And they came cheap. And of course, another thing is that they had their different ideas embedded in them. The way they build houses there, so different from the way we do. So when they start building replicas of what they had done there, people start seeing different perspective of building. So majority of people start hiring them to build them. So that's why we have buildings like this. So when you see any building called Brazilian design building, these are people who actually built it. So basically 50 years ago, majority of the houses or buildings in the Ebute Metta were built by them. So that's it. Let's go. Here we are. The whole building itself has just 3 rooms.
Okay.
The first is this, with our office there. It's supposed to be an open place.
Okay.
It's supposed to be an open place where anybody can come in through all the doors. So it was sealed to allow for an office to be there, so that we will not be sitting outside. So this is the living room, and that place is the dining. We have the kitchen somewhere, so that they come in through that place. So there's another door at the back. You come in through that place and you come serve everybody you want to serve them. And this is historical site of Nigeria. When you talk about tourism in Nigeria, this maps gives you in-depth studies of where you can go
in Nigeria.
Wherever you get to, state you get to, it gives you the listings of historical sites, tourist attractions. And of course, it needs reviewing because it has been done 10, 15 years ago, so it needs the. So now, the name of this place is called Jaekel House. Jaekel is like you and I, but he was a British who came to Nigeria in 1938, and he worked with the railways for 27 years of his life, and he retired. He was an engineer and he was a coach driver. Why his name is synonymous with this place is because of 2 things. The first is he wrote 3 volumes of books on the Nigerian railways. 3 volumes, voluminous books, 3 of them, about the development of the railways, or the society that the railway track passes through, to the minute amount of money being spent, either to reclaim or to lay tracks or to build houses in that area. And the second thing was because the man himself drove the Queen around Nigeria when the Queen visited Nigeria for the first time in 1956.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the man there, Jaekel. So you see him in the gap. You see Agbada.
I think it was on the middle outside.
No.
Looks so much alike.
This man died at the age of 120.
120.
Now, he was invited to Nigeria in 1998 when the railway was 100 years old, and he was being decorated, for a job well done. I said, you are marching on a wood of 126 years old.
6 years.
So you don't need to be surprised, neither should you be afraid. You are solid, because most of the things that we are using in this building were imported.
Wow.
Right from Britain. They were all imported, and that's why it's still standing.
Solid.
Now here we call this place the engine of the Nigerian Railway Museum. The engine of the Nigerian Railway Museum. Basically, the way I take people here is this: when you have 2 buildings and you live in one with your family,
yes, sir,
and the other one is in your village, nobody is living there. What do you call the one that you are living in, and what do you call the one that is there in the village? Which one is a house? Which one is a building?
The house is the one you are living in.
Good. So it's more useful,
Yes, sir.
more valuable.
Yes, sir.
The other one is not useful. It's not valuable. So it is with the people here.
Okay.
These people represent the interests of every Nigerian and British person who has worked with the railways for over 100 years. Forget the fact that these people worked as board of directors, chairmen, etc. But the fact that they work for the railway means a lot. So they represent the interests of everybody, millions of people that have worked. Without them, there can't be a railway. Neither can there be a railway museum. So that's the difference between a house and a building.
Yes, sir.
It is the people that lives in a house that makes it a house.
Yes, sir.
So when a building is there and nobody is useless. So without these people, there wouldn't have been any history of the railways. Neither can there be railway museum.
Yes, sir.
You understand my logic?
Yes, sir.
Now, here I always ask people, this is the whole logo of the railways and that's the main logo of the railways. Which will you prefer? The whole and the main.
This looks very, very...
Yeah, everybody points to this. 99.9% of people points to this. And sometimes they give a good reason. Right, sometimes they give me good reason. Which I always tell them that it's like an abstract painting. When you get there, you build your own value from it. But the person who actually draw that thing has his own different idea. But all ideas are valid. And again, yes, when you get to the airport, you are getting to the airport. What do you see when you get there? The first thing you see at the airport is the watchtower.
Yes.
The essence of the watchtower is to communicate. If there are no communications, there's problem because there will be accident. So also we have this in the railways of old. In each of the terminuses you have this, and it is called steam. It is called token key machine. Token key machine. Token key machine serves the interest of the people.
Okay.
It's a semblance of what the watchtower is. Because this you use to communicate between two stations. Without due communication, a train cannot leave a station.
All these keys and everything.
Exactly. What happens is, when a train is about to leave this place, maybe in the next 10 minutes, 20 minutes, if you have to radio,
Wine it.
when you wind it, it rings at the other terminus. And the man there and the man here will pick. And the man here will talk to the man there. What are they talking about? Basically, he wants to know if the tracks are free. If the other man says they are free, they put it down. The two of them put it down. And the man there and the man here simultaneously must press this.
Wow.
When it is pressed at the same time, the resultant effect is you have to remove the key. Right? The key serves two purposes.
Wow.
One is an authority for the driver to be on the rail track, because it has given the leverage of authority for him to be on the rail track. The second thing is to tell him that the rail tracks are free. Those are the two things it serves. So here we have this. It's an alarm.
Air alarm.
To keep you alert. Right. The alarm is meant to keep you alert. In other words, if there are dangers around and it is, you apply your pressure here, it gives you a sound.
From this?
Yes.
Wow.
And the sound is meant to keep you alert.
It's very, very loud then?
Very, very loud.
Wow.
So in other words, what we are saying is this. To every location that you have an alarm, it's only to alert. Right. So hear the sound. So you see the sound.
Wow.
So even if you are backing me and I do this, definitely you will lost.
Wow.
So it is just to create that enabling environment for you to know that you have risk around. So
And the
we
price
need
is
to,
still working. Like something still
it's still working.
Wow.
And it's over 100 years. It has never been service.
Wow. 100 years.
So,
Wow.
so here we have a model of a railway station too.
Hmm.
That's a model of a railway station, right?
Hmm.
Once we have been built
Hmm.
all over Nigeria. This is the way it was being built. And of course, when you come to the railway station, all you need to do is you walk. Let us assume this is the ticketing office, or here. You go in there, you buy your tickets, and you come there to wait. It's taken there. Here we are, they are like souvenirs. Souvenirs because the pioneer, the founder of this place, Professor Godwin, he traveled between 1974 to 1981 3 times.
Wow.
And he went to the Sahara Desert. So Sahara Desert, these are things he picked.
Wow.
And they have become great, impressive souvenirs where people comes around to see them. Now
they're looking relaxed and fresh.
Yeah. Sometimes people come to ask questions about this. And sometimes when ladies come around, I will tell them to pick what they use most these days. Here. The first thing they pick is this.
Okay.
You don't use it to grind pepper. For people who knows tradition. Modern tradition. Now we have this also. That they use for pedicure.
Okay, for the leg.
Exactly.
Wow.
And people now marvel at why do we have a thing? So there's no correlation. And I ask them, the Nigerians don't japa in those days? They do. And they follow the Saharan belt to Egypt, to whatever. And they don't take along food. You can't see plates with them. They take along tin food. Right. And when they finish tin food, what do? They drop it on it. So probably when the man passed by, he saw this and removed it. So that's the reason why I think all these are very useful.
Very useful.
Now let's move to the next.
Wow.
Here we are. You recall that I said when you get to the railway station, you must have gotten your ticket.
Yes, sir.
And you wait. Oh. This is where you sit down. Sit down. Very comfortable. Yeah. Wow. Is it not comfortable?
Very.
So this is the way you sit down, waiting for your train to come. And when it is time, you stand up and you join the queue. In the train of those days, this basket is what they use in bringing the meals. I mean, the food that they want to serve in the restaurant into the train. So they package everything here, and one person here, they lift it and put it inside. Wow. So here we have this fridge, and of course we have this for the workmen.
Like apron.
Wow.
And I've seen.
It's a very thick one. Very thick. And here we have.
It's like an animal skin.
Yeah, of course, yes. Wow. When we get here and I said I want to introduce fridge to them, and say, what's so special about the fridge? And I was about asking the good.
No, this is Mr. Adewale. The man you met at the office that I told you is the manager.
Oh,
this is the manager.
Wow.
That's the manager.
Wow, very beautiful.
So, it's 61 now, thereabouts. Right. Now, and it came through Ebute Metta, Lagos Colony. The team came from Ebute Metta and they developed. But what we are saying here is that there was no Nigeria when the railway came. And from the beginning, you don't hear anybody saying Nigerian railways, just railways. Until when amalgamation came, and every region came together and formed Nigeria. And of course, like I said, their intention was not to give us a transition system, but
moving goods
and services outside.